What's going on there, everyone? Well, some pretty good news for people who don't like terrorism. Trump reveals how ISIS leader died, whimpering and crying in a tunnel. Yay. Another one bites the dust, people. Another sick, twisted, horrific individual is no longer walking this planet with us, spewing hatred. Baghdadi killed himself during. Let me read this little part. President Trump announced on Sunday that fugitive Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi died in a raid by U.S. Special Forces in northwest Syria in a major blow to the jihadist group. Baghdadi killed himself during the raid by igniting a suicide vest, Trump said in a televised address from the White House. Test results from the aftermath of the raid had positively identified Baghdadi, he said. I do want to see evidence. I want to see it. We've heard, with this specific terrorist, we've heard back in 2017 that he was killed. Media was all over it saying that he was dead, and they ran with it, and he wasn't dead. I would like to see, I heard there was video. I will be doing my due diligence to try to get my hands on that video. Come hell or high water. He was a sick and depraved man, and now he's gone, Trump said. Baghdadi was vicious and violent, and he died a vicious and violent way, as a coward running and crying. He died like a dog. He died like a coward. The world is now a much safer place, Trump added later. In theory, it is a safer place. In theory. Trump said of the mission, I got to watch much of it before describing Baghdadi's death in graphic detail. He died after running into a dead-end tunnel, whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. The compound had been cleared by this time, with people either surrendering or being shot and killed. 11 young children were moved out of the house and were uninjured. That's awesome to hear. The only ones remaining were Baghdadi in the tunnel, and he had dragged 3 of his young children with him. Coward. That's pathetic, you know. You know you're going to die because of actions you have chosen to take. So you're going to drag children who can be redeemed, in my opinion. And what a cow. What a piece of trash. They were led to certain death. He reached the end of the tunnels as our dogs chased him down. He ignited his vest, killing himself and the 3 children. Pathetic. His body was mutilated by the blast. The tunnel had caved in on him, in addition, but test results gave certain, immediate, and totally positive identification. It was him, the thug who tried so hard to intimidate others, spent his last moments in utter fear, in total panic and dread, terrified of the American forces bearing down on him. That's almost poetic right there. Good job. Good job, America. Good job to our troops. You know, they're the people who took them down. They're the real heroes of the situation, the victors. So we thank God for our troops and our training that we give to our troops. They're amazing. They're amazing. They help keep not only us here in the U.S. safe, they help keep everybody from all over the world safe from terrorism, or at least try. You know, they at least try. They can't stop everything. It's impossible, but they do a darn good job. According to Trump, U.S. forces recovered highly sensitive material and information from Baghdadi's compound, much having to do with ISIS. That's also a good thing right there, because he was the head. So he probably has documents of what they want to attack, where they want to attack, when they want to attack, this, that, and the other, things they might be working on. You know, that's probably a treasure trove of information. The president said other terrorists should take note of Baghdadi's demise, saying the U.S. is committed to the enduring and total defeat of ISIS and other terrorist organizations. He also recalled his announcement last month that Hamza bin Laden, a high-ranking al-Qaeda member and son of the group's founder, Osama bin Laden, had been killed in a U.S.-led counterterrorism operation. Terrorists who oppress and murder innocent people should never sleep soundly, knowing that we will completely destroy them. These savage monsters will not escape their fate, and they will not escape the final judgment of God, Trump said. Oh, God bless them. Mm. Yes, sir. Today's events are another reminder that we will continue to pursue the remaining ISIS to their brutal end. That goes for other terrorist organizations. They are likewise in our sights. Baghdadi and the losers who worked for him, and the losers they had no idea what they were getting into. I love the way Trump talks. He is so belittling to anything he does not like, and it just makes me happy. It makes me happy. He's more so compared to other politicians, he's so real. He's so just off the cuff. I enjoy it. Every once in a while, he has said things that have made me cringe, but everyone does. A win for America and Trump that ISIS leader is dead. Baghdadi had long been sought by the United States as the head of a jihadist group that at one point controlled large areas of Syria and Iraq, declaring a caliphate. The group has carried out atrocities against religious minorities and attacked on 5 continents in the name of a version of an ultra-fanatic Islam that horrified mainstream Muslims. And I do feel bad because I personally know some regular, I guess you would call them run-of-the-mill Muslims, and yeah, I feel really bad for them because their image here in the West never was that great, except maybe like back in the 60s. But once the Persians were pretty much taken over by the Muslim extremists back in the 60s and stuff, everything went to crap over there in the sandbox. Everything just went to hell. And yeah, I feel bad for the honest Muslims who aren't ideologically driven to kill and do all this crazy stuff. They treat the religion with respect and such. But I do feel bad for them because they've been stuck in a little bit of a quagmire. In recent years, the group had lost most of its territory, but while the destruction of the quasi-state that Baghdadi built has denied the group its recruiting tools and logistics base from which it could train fighters and plan coordinated attacks overseas. Most security experts believe Islamic State remains a threat, though through clandestine operations or attacks. Trump had faced withering criticism from fellow Republicans and Democrats for announcing a withdrawal of U.S. troops from northeastern Syria earlier this month, which permitted Turkey to attack American Kurdish allies as it sought to set up a safe zone. I still agree with moving our troops out. I still agree with not fighting endless wars. I don't have too much of a problem with having commando raids on a clearly identified target. We know where they're at. I'm okay with that. If we can get permission from other governments to let our little commando units go in, take out a threat, and then leave again, that would be awesome for me. That would probably be the best. I don't think we should send our troops over to stay in these areas. No, I just don't see that. I don't like that. Many critics of the pullout have expressed concern both at abandoning the Kurdish forces who had been instrumental in defeating Islamic State in Syria, and that the move might allow the group to regain strength and pose a threat to the U.S. interest. I got an argument for that, is if the Kurds have been instrumental in defeating the Islamic State in Syria, why do they still need us there? They know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time before we were there. I don't understand. I mean, excuse me. I get maybe helping them out, like not with people per se, but with equipment maybe. And I'm still sketched out about giving anybody over there in the Middle East our equipment because I don't want it to be turned on us, which sometimes, usually, it gets turned on us. Trump issued a long list of thank yous to those who, he said, helped in the very, very dangerous mission, including Russia, Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and the Syrian Kurds, U.S. intelligence agents, and service members involved in the operation. You are the very best there is anywhere in the world. No matter where you go, there is nobody even close, he said. Last night was a great night for the United States and the world. God bless him. God bless our troops. Ah, I love it. I love it. But Baghdadi, we had him once before. In 2004, we arrested him. He was arrested, we had him detained, but they let him go, deeming him not to be too much of a threat. What were the hindsight, you know? Hindsight's 2020. Yeah. But, yeah, great news, really. It's great news for the world. It's gonna... This will fully deorganize the whole Islamic State situation for a little while. For a little while. There's always going to be some crazy fanatical guy that's going to try to come in and take over. But there's issues around that with the way they work. These Muslim extremists. There's no one now, no high up to really bless the new leader. There's no one to, you know, tap him with the magic stick, so to say, and say, hey, you are officially the leader. They're going to have a lot of issues. What I think is going to happen is slowly we're going to start seeing ISIS splinter into smaller cells, which is going to be also dangerous. It's going to be harder to track. But they will probably lose a lot of their capability by splintering. And they may even eventually end up fighting each other, because we've also seen that with terrorist organizations. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but immediately my thoughts are awesome. Another one bites the dust, one down. How many more to go? Who knows? But yeah, the world is the world has one less crazy individual in it that's trying to get other people to do what he wanted to do, but was too cowardly to do himself. So good riddance. And God bless the everyone involved in getting this guy to kill himself, pretty much. But as always, I'd love to hear your comments, and like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you all on the flip side.